come on, what's been going on?
Alright, well,
What's been going on? You bought a car?
yes. Oh, we bought a car.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Did you have a look at it? I don't even know
No,
how to pronounce
I
the
didn't.
name
Let
of what
me
it
have a
is.
look. Let me have a look.
Master Review Autozam. It does sound pretty made up, you're right. You're
It
right.
does sound awfully made up.
But I think it's the bee's knees
Wait, what are you calling it?
and
What are you calling it?
a review, R-E.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I
B-U-E.
thought you were calling it like a master review, and I thought, yeah. I didn't actually realize it was a Mazda until you sent me it as text form. Yeah,
Really?
'cause you were saying like Mazda review, and I thought it was like master review was the, I don't know,
Oh man, I haven't taken a picture of the manual yet. The manual.
what year is it? 1994.
It's fantastic. It is, yes.
Is there anything else?
Are you getting up some good pictures? It's 147,000 kilometers on the clock. Have you got some pictures there? What do you think? What do you think?
It's not bad.
So yeah, 147,000 kilometers on the
yeah,
clock.
it looks like
That's
an old
not too
Ford,
bad, right?
doesn't it? 147.
I don't even know what it looks like. Kilometers.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what? That's half.
It's probably 100,000 miles.
Yeah, it looks like an old Ford that's been like squashed a little bit.
So that's what I was gonna say. If you have a look at the back there, the back looks tiny, doesn't it? If you've got a side on view, and you look at the first 4/5 of the car, and then you look at the last section.
Exactly,
essentially where
that's
the
what
boot
I'm
is.
saying. It looks tiny.
It looks tiny, but if you open the boot, there's so much space in there.
Really?
It's huge.
That's crazy.
Honestly, there's loads of space inside the car as well. Obviously, it's got
It's
four
like
doors.
it's like a weird mix
So-
between a hatchback and a like sedan, which is just odd.
It is a little
Yeah.
odd. Oh, well, I'm super excited. I haven't really
Yeah.
taken
Should
it
we-
anyway yet. We
Should we?
brought it home and
Do you want to go over that name again, just for people listening at home? Well, I feel like we actually went over it quite a bit. Mazda Review, REV.
perfect. Well,
UE,
that was a useful exercise.
REVUE, and then AutoZam. 1994.
One word,
Yes,
AutoZam.
AutoZam. Yeah, and that's 1994. 1994.
NINET.
And if you want, just go and stick CAR on the end of that, and you're guaranteed to find it.
BLUE.
Okay, and do you want to share how much that cost you?
That cost £600.
It's pretty good when you put it like that. You know.
It's good anyway. The radio doesn't work,
That's a
and
shame.
the inside light doesn't work.
It's also a shame.
It doesn't lock very well. Yeah, I'm sure I'll discover more faults. The locking. So we went down 8 o'clock sharp this morning to go and stick another parking ticket in
Yeah.
there because the parking ran out at 8 a.m. So I got up sharp at 5 to 8.
Yeah.
And so I bought another 12 hours of parking, and unlocked the door because it doesn't have the central with the key lock with the fob. It's sort of, I'm not sure what kind of locking it has. It has the weirdest locking.
Yeah.
So I opened the driver's side door, put the key in, and then
And then the boot
put
popped
the
open.
ticket in. And then I locked the door, and then as I look through to check all of the little things
Yeah.
down, like one of the passenger side doors open, so now I have to go around and lock that manually. but then as I do that, like the back pin pops up. So I open the front passenger side door and I push down the lock to lock the back door, and then man, it's so weird. Like the locking.
definitely
You
sounds
can
like-
lock everything, but it's just sort of it's a game of chance. You just have to go around and press things down.
It's like a whack-a-mole game. It's like the most annoying whack-a-mole
that's
game.
exactly what's going on there. But the last owner didn't lock it because he didn't care. He didn't even have it MOT'd. He was just driving it around.
Right, yeah.
Like he didn't care, and he didn't lock it. All the windows were constantly open. All the doors were constantly open. He didn't care at all. So I don't think he realized that the locks, that there's any issue with any of the
Yeah.
locks. But yeah, I am. But what I have discovered, which so Zoe was looking at some insurance yesterday, and she said, "Does the car have an immobilizer?" And I was like, "What?" She said, "Does it have an electronic device that prevents the car from being started?" And I went, "Oh yes, it does." So we've got this weird house key, like it looks like a house key that for the doors. It doesn't. It's
Right.
you know. Do you know what I mean? It's really thin. It doesn't have any plastic around it. But then it also has a button, and not on the key as a separate. It's on the key chain, but as a separate thing. It has a button.
Yeah.
So when you put the key in and turn the ignition, right before you turn it all the way up, you have to press this button, and then you can start the car. If you don't press this little button, like all it is just a black
Yeah.
fob
So
with a
it's-
button on, and that allows the car to be started.
Okay, so it's an immobilizer.
Otherwise, you can't.
That
yeah,
sounds like some form
so-
of like aftermarket immobilizer.
I don't even know.
Your
I don't
car
even
is
know
so
what that is.
fucking
I'd never even heard.
Yeah, like modern cars just have an immobilizer in the key, and it's a chip that's linked up, so that.
So you can't copy the key.
Sort of, yeah, but a lot more security like that, so you can't hotwire a car with an immobilizer.
Well, that's what I assumed. That's what I assume what this is.
Yeah, do you remember when my key used to fall apart?
Yeah.
I think you did it. Did you not do it? Or was it Freddie?
What?
I think it
That
might have been
doesn't
Freddie.
sound like something I would do.
I think it might have been Freddie, but somebody got in the car and tried to start it and broke the key. The immobilizer chip.
Oh, I think I
the
was
immobilizer
there.
chip popped off, and then the car just wouldn't start. And I had to go back the next day when I was sober and sort it all out with a locksmith and
Oh
everything.
no, I wasn't there for that.
No.
I'm pretty sure I had nothing to do with that. I'm glad to say. All right, okay. The car's cool.
The car is cool.
And old
Yeah.
and dysfunctional. What else? So okay, Auckland has the big old tower
Yes. You went up
in
it.
the centre. Yeah. I don't know how to describe it. I think it was
What's it called?
originally built
What's it called? Let me Google
to
it.
broadcast the Sky Tower. Sky Tower.
Tower Auckland.
Yeah.
That's SKY.
TOWER.
EUCK
Space.
MAND go.
And I think it was originally built for to broadcast televisions and stuff.
Really?
Anyway, it's a bit of a tourist attraction, and you can pay $20 or whatever
Yeah.
to go up, and it's twice as tall as anything else around.
Yeah, that's pretty
But
cool. I'm seeing that.
but it also has a restaurant,
Okay, of course.
Um,
Of course.
which obviously has a 360-degree view. And me and Zoe went. We were thinking about going to the Sky Tower, and then we discovered there's a restaurant, and our massive love for food.
Yeah.
We decided we'd go there instead, especially as you get free entry.
Okay.
You don't have to pay to go up if you're going to the restaurant.
Okay.
But the coolest thing is the whole restaurant spins round.
That's pretty incredible.
More excitement.
That-
Honestly, it does
Okay.
make you slightly nauseous as you're looking at the menu.
Yeah.
And it's not fast. It spins around once an hour.
I don't
Yeah,
even know
and
where to begin.
It was
Like,
good.
thinking about that, but yeah.
It was, yeah.
That's crazy.
It was like our second day in Auckland, maybe,
Yeah.
when we went there, second or third, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed that,
What
and
did-
the food,
what
the
did you eat?
mussels here. Oh man, I had salmon. I think we just went for mains
Okay, yeah,
because
fair enough.
we just. Oh, that was it. It was fully booked at night.
Right. Okay.
Zoe's nodding in the background. Yeah, we definitely just had mains.
Yeah.
I think we got a couple of sides of fries and like some salad or something too. But yeah, it was all booked out during the night, and we didn't want to eat massively in the day
Makes sense.
because we only got a lunchtime booking. So I think we just had some light lunch. But yeah, I had some salmon and whatever. It was fantastic. It was really the mussels that they have green lipped mussels.
Okay.
I'm looking over for some. That's okay. She's busy doing important things over there. Yeah, I think they're green-lipped mussels,
Okay.
and A, they're huge, and B, they're the most delicious mussels I've ever eaten in my entire life.
I've never had mussels.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you're missing out. You're missing out. I think maybe, I don't know.
I feel like I should. I've definitely eaten a mussel before, but never had it as a meal.
You've
myself.
never had it as like a
Yeah.
dish. You should consider it at some
I
point.
should.
Maybe.
I should.
I definitely think you should. I'm such a huge advocate for eating things that someone has not eaten before. As in, if you haven't eaten that thing, I'm constantly throwing things at Zoe. Eat this, knowing that half the time she's probably not going to like it.
Yeah.
But it's just, go and eat this
Yeah.
thing. And do you remember, we went to a Michelin-starred restaurant a couple of months back. And on the way there, they didn't have the current menu. They had an example of the menu up on the website.
Right.
This is the kind of things that we'll have, but they didn't have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
current menu. So we were sort of talking about what we'd order. And Zoe asked me, what are you thinking about ordering? I said, I'm going to order the most obscure thing I can find. If they have toad on the menu, I will eat toad.
Yeah, of course.
And anyway, we got there, frogs, legs, and snails.
Nice.
So obviously,
Obviously.
straight away, within seconds of looking at that menu, I was like, right, okay, I know what I'm having
Yeah.
for mains. And I don't think there's any way to make snails taste good. They were okay. They were doused in garlic.
Yeah.
They were fine, but they're still snails.
They do seem like a weird food dish that the actual thing you're eating is there for the sake of all of the flavoring that's been put onto it.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Essentially, I think if you were to eat those unflavored, there would be
Exactly.
I don't know. You could stomach them. But they're not going to be nice.
You could switch out the snail and put the exact same flavoring on a lot of other things. You're eating the flavoring that's been put onto it rather than the thing itself. And therefore that then strikes me as a bit of a statement that you're eating snails, and I think that gets old quite quickly.
I don't think it's always been like that. I don't know.
Possibly,
Weird
yeah.
things are delicacies everywhere, aren't they? All sorts of places, Japan, Norway, have various,
Yeah.
essentially rotting fish as delicacy dishes
Yeah.
that people have thoroughly enjoyed forever. So
Does England have anything like that?
that's a good. I don't know. Gravy,
Possibly.
mushy peas,
Yeah, I'm talking like rotten kind of thing.
rotten.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything rotten actually that we have as a delicacy dish.
Black pudding is probably the closest I can think of. I'm not entirely sure what it's.
Well, I think that's a good
consisted
guess.
Of, what it's. I know that the color that it is, it's black because of like the blood in it, which I think is as far as I can think we go. And this is BLACK space B.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
So how much of black pudding is blood then? Because I was working on the assumption that black pudding was essentially entirely blood and probably some fat, but you make it sound like it's blood is just a small component.
I believe so. Let's have a look. Yeah, as far as I can tell, it's made from pork blood with pork fat and a cereal, usually oatmeal, or oat groats, or barley.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realise there were oats in there.
Yeah, it's a kind of blood sausage, which would support your theory. I think it's all just held together with a form of cereal.
Black pudding's growing on me, actually.
It is.
As of recent. Obviously, when I was younger. Oh, of course, yeah. We love to order ourselves some black pudding.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so what's the weirdest thing you think you've eaten?
The weirdest thing I've eaten.
You can list a couple of things if there's a couple up there.
No, I'll need to think.
Okay, while you think, I've eaten scorpion,
Okay.
crickets, mealworms, and snails. That's probably the weirdest things off the top of my head. maybe.
See, I don't think about things like there's lots of things that happen in the past where I think, say, like Maria asked me whether I'd seen the Northern Lights, and I had to think about it quite hard. Like, have I seen the Northern Lights?
Really?
And I'm like, it feels like something I've done, and then I eventually come to the conclusion, oh no, I haven't.
I'm surprised you had to think about that straight away. My answer was no. Of course I haven't.
Yeah, but I don't know. For some reason, it feels like something I've done, and I have to think back and be like, have I? I don't know why.
Curious.
I don't know. I had, like, when I was really young, I remember my auntie made me order a horse burger at a pub, and I wasn't a huge fan of it because as I was eating it, like, as this 5-year-old kid, I just could only picture like a horse. And the fact that people had made such a big deal about it, that I was ordering this horse burger, just put me off of it massively. And I wasn't a fan of it. But I think if people had just shut up and not told me it was a horse burger, I would have absolutely loved it. Because horse isn't particularly, it's not particularly adventurous at all.
Yeah, especially since, it's served up in most Tesco's. Oh, I'm sorry, that's an old news.
That is.
I've also eaten an ostrich burger. I didn't think that tasted very nice at all.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I ate it, but I don't think I really liked it.
Maybe that's something I need to get on. Adventurous food ordering.
Okay. So, what's the word I'm looking for here? To paraphrase, maybe? To paraphrase Morty from Rick and Morty, where he says, we should try listening to one random song a day. We'll listen to a lot of songs we don't like, but we'll also discover a lot more we do. Yeah. You should consider that with food. With a lot of things, actually.
Okay.
I'm genuinely, I sometimes, I say pride, but, I kind of do like to pride myself on trying something different. As much as I do have my little routines of, I do this, I do that, that's how I do my things.
I had this exact thing today. We went to Wagamama, and it was the first time I've ever been to Wagamama. And I had, it was new on the menu. It was, it had a Japanese word, and then beef brisket ramen. And it came with all sorts of vegetables that I wouldn't normally eat, spring onions, and some other,
how adventurous.
Some other weird leaves that were... other weird leaves that almost tasted like minty, but I don't think they were mint. I don't know. It was all odd. But, yeah, it was spicy as well, which isn't what I normally go for. I don't normally go for spicy.
You're not You're not a fan of spice?
No, I'm not. I don't know why. There's that barrier that you need to get through, apparently, of, you push through the spice and it opens up this whole new world of flavours. Which I'm definitely up for trying, but I'm not terrible with spice. It's just certain types of spice. I don't know. I can't taste the food if it gets to a certain level.
I think spice is fantastic, and sometimes I have to stop myself, and I consider on a regular basis, and I go, okay, I'll buy some hot sauce. Yeah. And there's some hot sauce here, which hopefully, if Zoe's listening, she can remind me of what it's called. That's okay, she's forgotten too. Sriracha.
Sriracha.
Yes, there we go. Okay, sriracha.
Okay.
And man, so at home I'd have a lot of, not all the time, but I'd stop myself from buying it, like, tubs of Tabasco or whatever, because I know I would just put it on everything, and I feel like that just can't be good for my insides, because I really do. Don't get me wrong, I don't want stuff that's like fire.
No,
but I like quite a lot of spice.
That. I do understand that.
In a lot of things.
I was having a Chipotle chicken melt from Subway for ages, and then I found Chipotle mayo in Tesco's, and I just started putting that on fucking everything, like literally everything I could find.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. And then I had to stop myself buying that. And the same with ranch as well. I know they're like the opposite end of the spectrum to hot sauce, but I mean, Chipotle is hot. Chipotle is spicy. Chipotle mayo, maybe not so much.
That's it. Okay, I'm buying some sriracha sauce later on today. I think that's going to be part of my list of things to do.